Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's an exciting day for us here on the homestead. Prep4life reached out to us and wanted us to try out their new freeze dryer here. It's called the Cube. This freeze dryer is comparable to the Harvest-Right medium-sized freeze dryer, but there are some major differences here. Cabinet size is a little bit smaller than the medium-sized Harvest-Right, but the food capacity in here is 25% more than the medium-sized Harvest-Right. So think about that. 4 cycles with this freeze dryer is like 5 cycles with the Harvest-Right medium size. You save yourself a whole bunch of time and you've gained a bunch of food just by using this machine here. Prep4life told me that they have a couple of these in their facility that have been running non-stop for 2 years straight without any problems. Also guys, I want you to check down in the description under the video for any discount codes that may help you in the purchase of one of these cubes. You can notice that the design of the chamber here is square. It's more efficient that way. It also has a patented pending sensor that senses your moisture in the food, and it knows when it's done. No more pulling it out and seeing, okay, though this is still a little wet, okay, this is still cold. This will sense it all for you. So it should come out good every time. There's no external pump on this thing. The pump is internal. So there's no pump to be carrying around, plugging in and getting in your way and then all that stuff. It's all internally. It's very compact and oil-free. Never have to do any maintenance to it. And that to me is a major, major plus. So they offer 2 models, the Pro and the regular Cube. This one here is the Pro. The difference between the two is the Pro comes with a Wi-Fi option where it will alert you when there's any alerts on the machine or when the food is done via text or email. So that's very, very cool there. The Pro also comes with its own cart, as you can see here. So what we're going to do now, guys, I'm going to take you to the website. I'm going to show you around there, and we're going to compare the Harvest-Right with the Cube here. Alright, so the first thing I want to show you here is the difference in cabinet size. Now this here is the Cube cabinet size, and we have 18 inches would be the width of this cabinet. And the Harvest-Right is 19 inches. And look at the depth. We have 25 inches for the Harvest-Right versus 22.5 for the Cube. That's a difference of 2.5 inches there. And then we have the height also. The height here on the Cube is 27 inches. And the height on the Harvest-Right is 29 inches. That's 2 inches higher than the Cube. And now look at the tray size. We have the Cube is 9.25 inches by 18. And the Harvest-Right is 7.5 by 18. That is a difference of 1 3/4 inches. So this is their home page here, and if you scroll down, there's a video you can watch, some testimonials you can go through, and if you click on the Cube here, let's see, it says this is the world's smartest and most efficient at-home freeze dryer. So let's look at some of the features here. The chamber is food-grade stainless steel. It's got that patent pending moisture sensor inside for to check for the moisture of your food. The design of the chamber is also very efficient and patent pending. The space is efficient in there, so you can produce 25% more food. It's actually wider than the inside than the Harvest-Right. It's got a full color touchscreen pad on there. And it has a jar seal mode and a candy express mode, which is very cool. The jar seal mode, it comes with this tray, and you can put your jars on there if you're going to do dry sealing, and which is an awesome feature that this thing has. Also, don't forget that it has an oil-free internal pump design, and the exterior of the cabinet is powder coated. So you can go to the frequently asked questions here and go through some of those. Now let's do the shop. So if we click on the cube, you're going to see the pricing here is about $4,500. And if you compare it to the Harvest Right with the oil-free pump, the Harvest Right is about $4,400. The actual difference is about $105. So not much difference at all. And don't forget here, you don't have to mess with the pump, and you get 25% more food in this per batch. And that adds up and it saves you a whole lot of time. Now, the cool thing about this also is you can finance this. If you go to where it says here, this Affirm. So for the $44.95, and if you finance it for 6 months, there's actually no interest in this 6 months, and it would cost you about $7.50 a month. And then of course, if you're going to do it longer for a year, they're going to slap on some interest, and that's understandable. But it is a nice option for you to be able to get into the freeze drying world. Okay. The difference between, you got the cube, the regular cube, which is this one here, which is the machine, and you get all the options that the Pro has, but except for the Wi-Fi. That's basically the same machine. Now the Cube Pro, you get the Wi-Fi alert system, the cart, the silicone mats, the dry seal, let's see, the dry seal tray, I'm sorry, the heat sealer, Mylar bags, collapsible drain bucket, which I'll show you in a second, the food grade stainless steel trays, oil-free pump, owner's manual, and all the Prep4life freeze drying modes. So if we go to, where was it here, the shop, and you scroll down here, this is the collapsible drain bucket, which is kind of neat. It'll get out of your way. All you do is collapse it, and you can put it away somewhere. All right, guys, so enough of the chit chat. Let's put this thing to work. We have a batch of a couple different fruits that we're going to be freeze drying to see how long it takes and how it comes out. Okay, so on the trays here, I have the silicone mats put on there, and they should work out really good. So the first fruit we're going to use are bananas. So we're cutting them up here to about maybe 1/4 inch or a little more thickness. These make a great sweet snack. Next we have avocados. We're going to make mashed avocados for future guacamole. Now just use a potato masher and just make yourself some mashed guacamole. And now it's just a matter of putting the mashed avocados on the trays and spreading it out. Now we used about 8 medium-sized avocados, but we probably could have used 12 with no problems. Probably a lot more than that also, but we used 8. Now all the fruit is going into the freezer. We're going to be using tray stackers here. They work great with these trays. It separates the tray so the bottom of the tray doesn't stick to the other tray's food. And I'm going to put a link in the description where you can pick some up. The next fruit we're going to use here is the good old apple. I'm going to split them up here in the slices and put those on the trays. The next fruit we have is kiwi. Now this one I haven't tried freeze dried yet, so this is going to be a nice new experience for me. So all the fruit will be going in the freezer here. They'll be sitting there overnight, and in the morning we'll start freeze drying. Okay, we need to get our machine ready, so we need to turn the machine on, and that's at the switch at the back of the machine. All right, guys, so before we get started, we have to run this through a test procedure to make sure everything's running good when you first get it. So let me show you how to do that here. But first, make sure your drain valve is closed. All right, so once your screen comes on, what you want to do is hit the start button. You'll see a screen here. It says frozen, unfrozen, Candy Express. Scroll down. You got defrost and jar seal. Okay, we're going to scroll back up here. Now here you have a little settings button. What you want to do is hit that. So now we want to hit the sound button and test the sounds. It's going to give you an option here where you can have the sound, like for instance when the machine's done, to keep chiming all the time, to keep warning you until you shut it off, or just once. For me, I'm just going to have it once. So you can test it here. Okay, now once that is done, press back. Now we want to press the test button. Now we want to test the heating button. So right now it's off. And now we turn it on. Now you can see the temperature under where it says freezer. The temperature here is 71 right now. And it'll start to climb. Once it gets to 100 degrees, we can turn the heating back off. That's just to make sure that the shelves are working properly. Also, open the door here and put your hands in there and make sure the shelves are nice and warm. Okay, you can see it already reached 103 degrees. So now we can turn the heater off. Now we want to press the freezer. Make sure the freezer is running. Now what you want to hear is the fan come on and the compressor. I can hear both the fan running and the compressor coming on. Now we want to run this for about 30 minutes before we do the next test. Okay, so the freezer has been running for about a half hour now. Now what you want to do is press the vacuum, but do not turn off the freezer. And you can hear the pump come on. Now what you want to do is run the pump until you see here it get below 500. What it really stands for is 500 mTOR. That's the amount of vacuum. And we want to get this number down to below 500. And for me, that actually took 8 minutes. All right, you can see it went under 500 mTOR. So that's good, and it only took less than 8 minutes. So now we want to shut the vacuum off and turn the freezer off. Hit the back button twice. And now we're back to the start screen. All right guys, the test is done. Everything works great. 500 mTOR in under 8 minutes. That is awesome. Okay, right now this is pressurized. We're going to release the, or put the vacuum back into the chamber here and open the valve. Okay, that is all set. Now we are ready to put the food in. Well, we're almost ready to put the food in. Now we're back to the start screen. We're going to hit start. And it gives us an option here to choose frozen or unfrozen. In my opinion, and what works best for freeze drying is to always pre-freeze your food first before you put it in here. Otherwise, this has to work harder and get the food frozen before it starts to do the freeze drying process. So what we're going to do here is we're going to press the food as frozen. And then it's going to ask you, is the drain closed? So I have to close the drain valve. Okay, the drain valve is closed. I'm going to put yes. So now it says, please wait for the chamber to cool to 30 degrees Fahrenheit before inserting food. So now we're going to wait. And once this gets to 30 degrees, we're going to put our food in. All right, it's reached 30 degrees. It's telling me to put the food in, and now we're ready. So the first thing we're going to put here is the kiwis. The next thing we're putting in is the apples. Next we're putting in the mashed avocados here for guacamole. And next we're putting in the bananas. Alright, we'll shut it. Alright, so now I loaded the food in and it's telling me here to press yes when the food is inserted. Now we're going to press start. So the food is in. Now it's just a matter of waiting. The chamber right now is still getting colder, and once it gets to a certain temperature, the pump will kick on and the freeze drying process will start. So we will see how long it takes now. Alright, you can see the process is complete and it took just over 26 hours to do. Alright guys, the process is done and we have to click on where it says check food. Now it says to open the drain to check food. The pump shut off now. Make sure that your hose is not sitting in a bucket of water, because if you open that up, it'll suck all that water in there and ruin all your food. Mine's empty, and we're going to open it up. Beautiful thing about this, I just noticed, is it doesn't produce a lot of condensation around the seal. Really nice. So let's check the bananas. And see how those come out. Perfect. Good. This is the best part, tasting everything. The guacamole. Bone dry. The avocado is nice freeze dry because as you're eating it, it starts softening up and it gets very creamy. It's really nice. Apples. Let me get the biggest one because that's the one that would be. Oh man. Fantastic. The kiwi. Now this one here I've never tasted before. Oh man. It's got that tartness to it. Perfect. So these are all done. So now it's going to ask you if you need more time, and we don't need more time. Okay, that's selected there and complete. So the only thing we have left to do now is my wife and I were going to put them in Mylar bags and with oxygen absorbers, so we can put them for long-term storage. But this is as good as they taste. I don't think they're going to last long-term. So guys, that is it. I'm very impressed with this machine. Worked flawlessly. It wasn't really that loud. It may have sounded loud because of my mic. I'm right next to the machine when I'm doing the video and stuff. But from a farther distance, it's really not that loud at all. Worked flawlessly. It worked great. I'm very happy with it. Very user-friendly controls here. When you're done, just shut the switch off in the back here. And I would keep the drain open. And I like keeping the door open because it'll defrost quicker that way. But again, if you have another batch to do, just before when it completes, I should say, it'll give you the option there for defrost. Yeah, very nice machine. Very happy with it. I really like the design of this. Very compact. Holds 25% more food. So to me, a big winner. And this is magnetized here. It just clicks back in and clicks out like that. Nothing to turn or no cranks or anything like that. All right, guys, I appreciate you watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Look into one of these. Look in the description for some type of discount code or a referral link or something in the very near future. And check it out. Check out their website and see about getting yourself one. All right, guys, so thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next video.